Back to the phones we go. Good morning, Bob Sokoler, Louisville Real Estate Show, News Radio 840 WHAS. Hello.
Hi, Bob. This is Kimberly.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the interest rate I'm getting on my loan with a well-known bank. I have already agreed to repairs, but I no longer want the house because of the interest rate and closing costs. My agent says I can't get my $2,000 good faith deposit back. Why is that?
Okay. So, Randy, this is not the only problem I've heard. I actually heard about another one where the buyer was actually an investor. They were given one interest rate, but the loan officer thought it was to live in, and then they found out it was an investor, and the rate went up. So let's start with what Kimberly's doing. What are her options at this point? She doesn't
her
like her
options are to call Swan Financial.
With that cell phone, really.
Okay, yeah.
And let me tell you what's going on in the marketplace. It's funny you mentioned this. A lot of our competitors now, the volume is down because of inventory, as you well know.
And refinancing is down because of interest rates.
Refinancing is down, correct. And so you check a couple boxes. And so they're trying to make more profit. And what is happening is they're raising their rates because they're not doing as much volume for all the things you just talked about. We're in a great situation at Swan, and it's really put us ahead of most of our competitors. We're a quarter to half a point better. Yeah. And we have no origination fees, no lender fees at all, zero. All we have is title cost. And so that is really interesting that you just received that call, because we tell realtors, you're going to lose business now, because if people think that they're going to get in the fives on a 30-year or what have you, then they're saying, heck, I'm not going to move.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so much
Stay
lower
where we
than
are.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was,
And when you call Swan, it really sincerely, we're closing more homes because of the fact of our rates and our costs.
All right, let's go over to Kevin now over at Pitt and Frank. So she wants out because of an interest rate legally. Is there anything she can do?
Well, there's a financing contingency in the contract that talks about there's usually an out in most contracts if you can't get financing under terms in the contract or better. So it very well may be in the contract itself. She says, okay, I can provide I get to 80% loan to value loan at, say, 4.75. And if the best you can do in the market is 5,
she's out. But that is that used to be in the contract. Then they rewrote the contracts. I don't think that's in there anymore, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you specify that.
I think you can you can always specify it,
but it's too late after the fact. If she's already gone through inspections, and she has.
Yes. Yeah. Well, but it depends on what verbiage is actually in the contract. Usually with a financing contingency, what if the rates go up a point? A lot of these folks with that type of rate would not be able to qualify for the loan anymore.
What I don't understand, though, and Bob, you and Greg, you can chime in on this. Why wasn't there? Why didn't they talk about payment and all the above before they made an actual offer?
That's with the loan officer.
Absolutely, because in fact, I had one of your Dame Mel this weekend called me and goes, "Hey, your client. This is my client. You've already spoke with them. We're about ready to make an offer. We want to make sure that we're going to be okay on rate and payment." And on Sunday at 4 o'clock, we talked about it, and we found out that they were okay with it, and they got an acceptance. So another thing she could have protected herself on before she made that offer is to call your loan officer and get what the payment.
Get the rate is. But I back to the contract. I'm looking at one of the ones that we've got. So line 45, page 1 of the contract specifies the type, how many years, and then the interest rate not to exceed, and there's a blank there. So that's where they would put in.
There. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and we're in an environment right now. It happens every now and then where you have a big jump in rates in a short period of time, and a lot of people get kicked out. But that hadn't been the case. I mean,
it has happened in the last month, Kevin.
Okay.
Rates have moved about a half point.
And we're seeing them hover up a little higher because the Fed's raising rates again. So
it's the Treasury, right? It's where it's...
Well, and that's more in prime, and that's more short-term.
I get that.
Right.
You're long-term. But the point is there is a cause effect there for your numbers down the road no matter what you do.
Sometimes. Yeah. It just depends. It really does. But yes, the market. But you should be in contact with your client weekly or every 10 days. Hey, here's where your numbers are now.
Well, it comes up to what Bob was talking about earlier about the inventory problem. I read an article, and that's one of the leading 5 factors. I'm sitting on 3.75. The rate's now 4.755.
Yeah, what's the point?
Do I want to stay?
Right.
And that's causing a little delay about people that are saying, okay, I could close, or I could move this year, next year, I'm sitting on 3.75. I'm not sure if I want to move that product.
You are
over.
correct,
That's
Kevin.
something we're gonna
That's
see,
becoming
yeah.
more and more prevalent all the time.
But
yes,
I will tell you, there is an adjustment period, whether it goes up or down mentally. And I think a year from now, we won't be saying.
No, you will not.
And because it's
Yes.
only going to continue to go up. So the question is, do you jump now while you can and get a good deal on a more
Forget they were
expensive
high in
home?
2008 and they came
It's
back
amazing.
down,
We've done this for a very long
Exactly.
period of time. People are freaking out because they're getting close to 5.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal's about
Historically,
6 or 7.
It's unbelievable.